Okay guys, so today we're going to be playing Kun'tewiktuk, which means the place of the rock. This story is supposed to have taken place in Unima'ki. Kun'tewiktuk, from what I know, was one of the first bands in Unima'ki or Mi'kmaq communities. It was known to be one of the smallest at the time, I believe, which would have been located somewhere near like Sydney, there in Cape Breton. So I'll let the first cuts team play through, and then we'll start to get to the walkthrough.
Naneb tortelasik se bunamagik. Dan migam au pigok weda beksit. Neup deeskir nibenek. Nado holi exit pugus. Kes was we to whisky man jasi dek. Wedu wort kes not go hoi mool den. Nado hantkamayu attu gwala lukchiganamel. Un teluis little. Kadu basaguk tubunege deg. Mega de bochi wego dasis. Will wat lukchiganamel. Kadu me, nega wil bamudami emeligol. Stagani gage, pas a keska desinka. Meskega mi augid nemat. El dubig ni buktuk. A mwen hazug mi so mena hanewari gukwadl. Nana de little sio yet. We gaidasit. A hol bamugajiduk tantla de gedo. Club is torne basna. Was a wek tortu gat pass. Chiba hadesink kistone mi ajugula de muskik to hegaji. Mi so migwidet kek tante du sanke wokilich. Ach tante sili jigisigina muadis niga gniska mijinaha. Stahanige nedu gulimk. Tantel ne me jugudimk. Ach tanteli gamk. Na do hagnu de muadil dantelit pielis na chiginama. Ach tan winsit telik siktana jigalus uti de weni. Ahtani melpenadi liji. Pibani madi do waswego menuegeli na bona masudi. Teldi eli julaimu di tsara wegi gen chichami jinarik. Waswek do waswado abone magun wigula de muchk. Ni nagaluska. Arkeju danu. Wigula de muchka hagnu de budni danket keduli. Liane megidel mo dantel muldida. Una namasianu basudesem edu iskut hamo. Bigol mugaluk nugalas ledu iskut hamo. Ekip danik dan mahayutta. Kamut nalutta. Ahal malutta dan yemi negamo. Mukchigeiwa visip badun. Itna juga bit stet. Kulmen amuch pagegenuwe kundo. Keskem na kisia bajazi nemi. Yuda do waladun gegenuwe kundo. Keskem na kisia swazi spit hamu. When na udula winstit, dan gizi go father de chigino. Nelki ana dan telu. Amul gi mat megedo. Nedu na dan elia. As magdu limu nige. Karegedo ya bonemu na. Tli del mulan debas kaman. Na gini mutus mejaji gna amul gi gnordi. Keji jigna dan del boxigi gajoti de wigula de much. Tandel boxi gebot na de midil gom poju wigasit. Apaja de wintante se kisi komo de music. Wai se we multi di hodi digene motes. Kaduges menas amuch pagegen udmas in det bare mat negem. Sema hawi je ukchi jamich. A hespegen udmas in mat negem kewi.
Okay, so now that we're actually getting into the walkthrough now, we're starting out as Wasuik, which means the flower. So the first thing we gotta do is pick up this hand ability, which is like some gauntlets for your hands, which will allow us to attack these toadstool looking guys. These are pretty easy to defeat. So there's just a few of them, and then we get the chance to skip here. So these mushrooms or weedle are pretty easy to defeat. There's really not much to it, so you can try and fight more if you want to. You can move on. Then we go and pick up our next, I guess not power up, but I think we start here with the bow and arrow, which you can easily select from our wheel. Then we simply have to take down, I think, each target just takes 2 shots, and then you get to move on. So yeah, see, it's pretty simple. And pretty much any time that you see like a quiver of arrows, we're gonna want to pick those up. You just have to defeat this little monster. Just, I don't know, it's like a scourge or frog. I'm not really sure what it is, but once again, it's something pretty easy to defeat and we get to move on here. The next step is we're just moving on to the spear. Now, what I found in actually playing this is, I mean, as the spear is cool and all, and you might want to switch up, like, I don't know, what you use between the spear and the actual arrow. But I just find, like, when defeating enemies, that the arrow is just much faster, and it doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem like you do more damage with the spear or the bow. I'd say if you want to do, like, hand-to-hand combat, or, like, going up close with the spear is probably better off than trying to whack them with the bow is the only advantage I'm seeing. So now we're here and we pick up the spirit ability, which is our star power. Which you see down in like the bottom right corner. It's the amount of like spirit or power that we have to use. But you find this is probably like one of our most powerful moves in actually defeating enemies. It's pretty simple to use. You're just gonna make sure that we have star power or spirit power to actually use it. And then we got the pads here for health and star power ability. So now Glooskap just sort of explained to us that the power of the caribou or halapu is in the mountains, and we have to secure a couple wooden pieces of the lever to actually get there, I guess. So you'll find running through the world here that there's these, I guess, challenges of shooting targets with your bow and arrow, and this will grant you a speed boost, which is a great advantage when we're actually trying to navigate across the world. The worlds are fairly big, and you will find if you try to run all the way, you're going to run into a lot of enemies, which, I'll be honest, they're not easy to defeat. So whenever, like when we look at our mini-map in the top left, we really want to try and navigate to these archery challenges as much as possible so we can actually get this speed run. So you'll see in a second, we'll get the fly across the map here. Really want to try and chain these together so really get you across the map. But I mean, if you want to explore, you do you. I think if we press bottom arrow, it'll give us our spirit guide and it'll just show you like where we're headed on the map. But I mean, there's also you'll see a mark on the map, like an exclamation mark that actually tells us where we need to go. One thing I don't like is we can't actually open the map to see how far away we actually are from where we're trying to get to. But you'll see, like, I was on my run ability, so I kind of stopped here at another archery challenge trying to get this done so we get our speed boost back. The targets are pretty easy to hit, and you'll find, so I think the ones out front are worth like 1 point, and the ones in the rear maybe worth 2, and then possibly 3 for targets in the back. It's pretty simple. We just gotta hit like 15 targets and we get our speed boost, and we're able to truck on here. So yeah, we get granted our boost to fly across this map again. Now I get really excited with this game because, like, I myself am Mi'kmaq. I am still learning the language, but I think it's super cool, and especially with being built on Unreal 5, just so much possibility for like the size of the maps and what we can actually achieve in these video games. So yeah, you'll see here we need to collect pieces for this lever.
Går einige mo gakta beskin good.
Like I said, whenever you see like quiver or spears, you're gonna want to pick those up just to make sure we don't run out when we're actually fighting these enemies. And like as you can see, like we run fairly slow. So as soon as we can find like one of these speed boost target challenges, we want to get that done so we can navigate the map a little quicker. And like out here in this main world, there's all types of different enemies that will try to attack us. There's no real advantage to fighting them, it doesn't seem. Like when you actually get to defeat them, they will grant you either health or like ability boost so we can use our star power and whatnot. We just defeat these guys. It's not a scourge, the bullfrog, a blegamu. See, I'll try to use like Mi'kmaq, the Mi'kmaq language as much as possible. It is still something I'm learning, so I don't know. You know, I don't know all of the language, but I do know a bunch of the wildlife and stuff. And I'll try and share that. And where this is a Mi'kmaq game based in Unima'ki, and I guess the creators from Unima'ki as well. There is like dialect differences in between the actual Mi'kmaq language in between like Cape Breton and the mainland. It's like Wasawik, the flower, this character, the girl, like we're trying to get through the spirit world here to kind of possibly enter to the other side where Un Fog has been actually captured. And it's like we're trying to get into the spirit world, and then Un, the little boy, is trying to get out, I believe. But like, especially with the language differences, Un, which is like fog, I guess, it's a Mi'kmaq dialect for Unima'ki or Cape Breton. It's like on the mainland, our word for fog is Aoneg. It's like there's some key differences in the Mi'kmaq dialect, which I'm gonna try and share as much as I can here. And then so we grab the first piece of our lever, and then we just have to complete this match game, which is pretty simple. It's just a bit of a memory game. We have to match 2 different cards. So like we have like I already forget like what I was trying to match. So you get the porcupine or madues. Maybe another kipu or eagle. So we got the frog or the scourge. And the caribou or halibut. Yeah, and the bukjij, the mouse. So a bukjij. The bear, the moon, another kipu. And the moose, the diam. No. So Gipu, and I remember where Gipu, yeah. Yeah, another DM. Muin. And finally, the Halapu. And completing our match game, that grants us with the piece of the stick we need to actually finish the lever. Once we get our piece of the lever, we have to get our second piece before we can actually complete the lever and move on. So you just jump on these mushrooms here, Ogedu. Like Like I said, I prefer to use the bow. I mean, it's completely up to you. Like, I just love, like, the detail in this game. Like, here, like, the wigwams and stuff. It's so cool. Like, I don't know what these creatures are. They're like some scourge type frog creature, but then they actually launch stuff out of, like, their... I don't know. It looks like they have, like, a fly trap cannon type thing on them. And the monsters in this are, like, pretty cool. Everything about this game is cool. Like, the neon features, just... And where it's built on Unreal Engine 5, just like, I just love it. I just love it. It's honestly so cool. And like being able to render in so many different objects and build these like super large worlds is just super cool, super fun. It's honestly such a fun game to play. And like why I'm doing this, like actually walkthrough videos, is this is honestly super exciting to me that we're now making video games that can sort of share the Mi'kmaq culture and sort of tie in like some of our like legends and stories, and you know, really show people what our culture is about. So you'll see now I'm trying to get another speed boost so I can get across the map, because yeah, you'll find it takes a long time to get around. So this is really the quickest way to navigate through these open worlds. So now that we got our speed boost, we can sort of just truck along to get to our second piece of the lever. So like the speed boost is just crucial for getting across the map, so we don't have to fight all this different type of wildlife. So if you try to fight your way the whole way through, it's extremely hard. There's some crazy things across the map, like that big, I don't know, rock hand face thing. Pretty interesting type of characters, creatures, monsters, whatever. So we have to try and defeat this. I don't know what this is. Some type of witch that, you know, spawns in different lightning bolts. We have to defeat these monsters, which aren't too bad as long as we just dodge the lightning strikes. And like they're easier to defeat if you shoot them in their belly here. I guess that's like their soft spot. But like the creature's thing here is mostly to avoid these lightning bolts that this witch or whatever is casting down upon us. You know, like our ability does a lot of damage. We want to use that as much as we can. And we have these couple regeneration pads just over here on the side, which are crucial to know about. It's like we don't have a lot of health. You get hit once or twice, and that's pretty much it. You die, and you just kind of have to start over at the start of where you are. You don't have to go too far back. Which is nice. So yeah, it's pretty basic. You just defeat these guys, and then the switch or whatever is up here, and we just have to finish hammering her off. And like I said, it's pretty much the easiest thing in this game is to use the actual bow and arrow. Unless you feel the need to, I don't know, switch it up and use the spear. That's completely up to you. It's pretty much the quickest way I found to get through these levels. Defeating the witch grants us the second part of the actual lever. And once we get that, then we have to head back across the map and actually build the lever. I believe grants us the new ability of the Halibut or the Caribou, which it grants us like a speed run where we actually flying across the map with the Halibut, which is pretty cool. Like these oogie little mushrooms, toadstools, are pretty quick, pretty harmless, but you know, it's still something we have to fight when we're running across these maps. Instead of actually fighting these guys, we're just gonna keep on moving here. Try to dodge that bullfrog.
That's not a login.
Just as we're navigating across this map, we'll do another one of these arrow challenges so we get our speed boost. Like I said, we're going to be trying to do these as much as possible so we can get to this first part of the game. And then we're just coming up on our lever here. So I just need to get this built. And this grants us the Halapu ability and movement. That Glooskap, we've proven ourselves worthy, so he's granted us the ability to actually, I don't know, the ability of the Caribou. So we get to nav across the world super quick, following their bird or pack, reindeer, caribou, Halapu. I think it's pretty easy, you just kind of follow them and jump the obstacles as they come by. But I'd say if you're new to video games, this game can actually be somewhat challenging. But it's not hard, so to speak. Some sections can be though, for sure. Like, even though, like, I'm, 30 now, there's been some challenging aspects to this game for sure, but it's been honestly so exciting and so much fun to play, and I'm really excited for the future of, more Mi'kmaq video games and teaching what we're all about, connection with nature and our legends with actually, like, the spirit realm, Glooskap, and all these really cool things, and sharing our language. It's super cool, and I'm really happy about it. And that's why I wanted to do like some sort of walkthrough. Like, I've done stuff with video games, mostly how-to videos on modding and whatnot, but so this is the first time I've ever tried to do anything like this, an actual walkthrough and voiceover, and I just thought it would be cool to maybe share some more of the language and, differences in dialect and whatnot.
Gwe wasweg, asama ajing tanket blowage, wuje wieg,
Walalio gotta mugisi wajir wonok. Kulak nan chiganam.
Egwida mededuk, eduk chugisi bormotis den kahi intugli dieg.
O sadamog na nige dil ko damage. Amush ba abajasi skader gamujawagi.
Migui de. Weji dun gegen wege we kundo ni nudemodahan. Na gukun tas muggi gnodi asupis planet wiswit hamoro.
Well, nige is akoy with modahan. Dami nige G kuram kasi. Where? Monakalin wuje woman?
And like in that cutscene there, Glooskap was just sharing with us what we need to do and find pieces of the rock so we can actually enter into this spirit world. And then she met up with the tribe and they were just like, you know, is probably just out fishing or something. He's not gone, don't be silly. But, you know, the vision came to Waswick and she knows that her brother, not like him to just disappear. And so we just still complete on our actual mission of finding with the guidance of Glooskap and his assistants. And so, like, this part can be somewhat repetitive, just finding these archery challenges and getting our speed boost so we can actually get across the map just so much quicker. It's just so much quicker to do this than actually try to navigate through these open worlds. I mean, the world is super cool to just explore in the different wildlife. It doesn't seem like any of the wildlife does more damage to us than other ones, or really even have more health. The coyotes or Kukwes, you know, you would think they'd be maybe more aggressive, but pretty much the same as like Scourge or even the bullfrogs, like the Abligamoo. Everything seems pretty balanced other than the actual what you decide to use, whether you use your gauntlets or the arrows or the spear itself. I think it just matters the type of combat you want to do, if you want to do ranged or like short range close combat, which, you know, like I said, maybe you'd want to use the spear for that, or even these gauntlets that you have on. So like you can see here up on top of the hill, we have another speed boost. I'm gonna try and get this challenge done so we can quickly get through the maze that's down here below. And the maze isn't too complicated, but I found a fairly quick route just on the right side. Especially if you have the speed boost, it doesn't take very long to get through. Yeah, as you can see from the top of the hill here, you can get a better view of this maze. There may be different ways to actually get through this. I mean, there probably is. Because one thing I notice about like navigating through these maps and challenges is that there's usually not like just any one way that you can go. There's usually multiple ways you can actually navigate through these worlds, which is pretty cool. Kind of lets you, you know, really be your own character and navigate the world as you see fit. Just gives you that little bit of freedom, a little more excitement to the game itself. Yeah, our little spirit guide reminds me of like, if you remember like playing Zelda back in the day, where you have, I think it's Siri, just like your little fairy or whatever that tells you what to do and teaches you things. So yeah, I actually turned around and tried to fight these foxes or the Kukwes and the Kukwes, the coyote. And it's just like, it's not worth it, not worth my time. Go and get this piece of stone that we need, or the artifact. You can see we got a speed run just in behind there, so when we actually go to deliver this, we'll complete that first. This rollerball challenge is not extremely difficult, especially when you learn that like these little balls of, I don't know, lava or whatever, like they do, your ball is wooden, So you will find that if you were to, I don't know, touch them many times, I think they might actually burn your ball up and you have to start over. But it's pretty simple. You just have to move your mouse or your gamepad kind of in the direction to let the ball roll. This one's a little more challenging. You have this snake or Medeska. This one's a little more challenging. So you can see like where I'm hopping the ball and stuff. I'm really trying to do slow movements to actually try and get the ball to the end here. This one is most definitely a little more complicated than the other board. But you take your time. It's, you know, pretty easy to complete.
Messi naman eh.
And so we complete those 2 challenges, and that grants us our piece of artifact or rock that we need to actually navigate to the spirit world to help, you know, so we can actually go and find Un and see if we can actually rescue him. And like I said, we have this archery challenge right in behind that piece of artifact, so we'll get this done so we can get back to the actual rock and portal that brings us to the spirit world. And now we pretty much just backtrack to where we came from so we can deliver this piece of artifact. So, you know, find the maze again, and you can try and get a different route back. I just kind of decided to try to, you know, use the same way I came in on. I do actually think I took a wrong turn. Maybe here? Yeah, here, I think. It looks like I can kind of sneak out through this way, but once I get closer and look at it, I realize, no, I took the wrong direction. I just gotta backtrack a little bit and figure out how to get out of here. Oh, wow boost. Doesn't seem like the reindeer actually hurt you. You have to have that coyote chasing us though, the Elu glitch. But it just seems like if you run away, you can mostly get away from any of the enemies that you do find. Which I find is the best solution. But I mean, it's entirely up to you and how you play. And like I remember at the top of the hill here, it's marked on your map as well that there's this running ability. Now, I did find certain, you know, there is things about this game where we render in, I don't know, like these animals and wildlife that, like you can see this Halibu here is actually stuck in the mountain. So there's just little things, you know, but it's still a super good game, super fun to play, no matter what. Like I've been loving it so far. And I would definitely recommend it to anyone that, you know, wants to learn more about Mi'kmaq culture, is learning the language, or it's just it's a cool experience. It's a really fun game to play. And it's not even that much on Steam. I think it's only like 20-something bucks right now. And as far as I know, it's only on Steam currently. I don't know if it's coming to other gaming platforms or not. I mean, I figure it will. I think they're just trying to see how it does on here first, see how the public actually views this game. Which I think will be taken quite well. Like I said, like it's been an enjoyable experience for sure.
It
Play duktat. Nige, duktalabak.
Waswek, Ketchakuwisku. Yamik of Kukwes go all a chip Mijuaji don't get a nadipni blowage.
Say all of Mijuajish. Oh, Mugarwalas Nugeg Negamoyek. Nige, don't nakalas when Genoa.
So then we have to try and defeat the Kukwes here, which is the giant that kidnapped some of Wazulik's people here. He's pretty easy to defeat. You just kind of want to make sure that you jump his shockwaves and he will sort of throw rocks at you. Maybe look at the top left. You can see he actually has armor here. So like, that has health. You just kind of want to knock that down. And once she gets rid of the actual armor, we can attack him when he dies really easy. And you don't really have to worry about your ammunition as there's a spot you can refill your actual arrows and spears in this, and there's also a place that you can recoup your energy and actual health if you do lose any. Most important is to stay away from these shockwaves and knock down this armor the best you can. And like I said before, I just find the arrow is just so much quicker at reloading. It seems to do the same amount of damage as the actual spear. I don't know if the range is different or not. So you can see here, you can pick up more ammunition. Like as you can see in the top left, we just have 3 more pieces of armor here to get rid of. Actually did get low on health here, so I think I'm running around trying to find the health pad. Because like, you don't actually have a lot of the health I find. Like you can actually die pretty quick in this game. And there is no way to As far as I know right now, there's no way to change the actual difficulty itself. So I think like the game is for like all ages, but it could be a bit tricky if you're not really familiar with video games. I just find it best to like play the long range game with this guy. The closer you are, the harder it is to actually dodge the shockwaves. And then it seems like with the arrow there's no damage drop off in distance, or so it just makes sense to sort of play the long game. Once you get rid of his armor, I think you can shoot him anywhere you want. It only takes a couple shots and you actually get to down Kukwes. It's not too complicated, and then you get to free like your tribespeople here.
Muhan Jilayog?
Mohu Dolotuig, Walalieg. Dan tuju Aptuglinkeg, Kukwes Kisewak Seegub, Blauchoktoxup. Dan tuju Kitchuk Igayeg, Mesnuk Seegub, tuju Bujaluk Seegub, Keptuk Dahane.
Na Willia, Nige Imalolo. Gajiton Damago Tijig. Majadig nige, wala mush kabora mokstoks bel midayo. Ach nige aji kulachan chickenam.
Mageda hamu, right?
When I kill,
Ni nagluska. Monet kilu. Was wek sa weskubis.
what's the word? August Nenart, what's the word? $1 gadu.
Oh well eglo. He's worked this ka hakweji. Dan keji degeja. Che da bedo kwalas skadega mujuega di peji abona mask.
Veggie abon a mood.
Chiapni na bona mu. Mega de welali. Kedu jibulali. Kilginu wadu start ko hoi kizile na ma. Kejik se duije. Win sedik chijami jawagi begishu school lam hamu. Dan mega moes welausi. Pigwal kul min gwadu didl melki gina hawe. Dan abona magui didl oskit hamu plial dada. Willie a help this kulaman bizia bajadi is done with Jean. Tet baidas i net mugudui mu tet kettle. Naude de gulia bonemonte. Ewe nud. Ach, chiweji to Daniel Malhe. Would have been someone. Now give you amen.
Bloody
Now,
goodness.
actually switch to the brother Un.
Nagado William.
Glooskap has come to us while we're in the spirit world to grant us ability to become the Abubjij, like the actual Mos. And that is where we are going to end part 1. So yes, catch us on the next part 2. The Multis.